Hi, I'm Anna Liptak and I've been a fitness trainer now for over 15 years. Over this time, I've been privy to witness so many ordinary people achieve so many wonderful things. Through this podcast and a documentary I co-produced, I'm Not a Runner, I want to share these stories to show everyone that anything is possible if you have the belief and the motivation. Okay, well, I'm really excited to be here today because I've got Jane Woodlands-Thompson with me today. So welcome, Jane.
Thank you.
We're here to talk about the Australian Masters Games, which I'm very excited that you've asked me to be a part of. So thank you very much. But first of all, can you tell us about your background and also your sporting background as well?
Well, a teacher by trade, so phys ed was my passion. So taught phys ed and maths for ages, and parallel to that was coaching netball and moving through the ranks with that. When the opportunity came up to be a professional coach in the Trans-Tasman Netball League, the ANZ Championship, I was fortunate enough to get appointed as the inaugural coach for that league for the Adelaide Thunderbirds. So took that with both hands. Didn't read the fine print because I ended up being general manager of high performance as well as coach the team.
Wow.
And you look back then, you think, how did that all happen? But it was such a learning and a blessing in disguise. And meanwhile, picked up some study with University of Queensland in their sports science, sports management course. So I was really cognizant that coaching was a very unreliable career. Anything can happen. So I really wanted to build my skills in that parallel area in sports management. So I did that. And after the T-Birds, I did 8 years there, stepped down and went back to my old school, Westminster, to set up their high performance department. So we sort of had 6 or 7 target sports that we really wanted to make that a priority in that school environment. So loved that. At the same time, AFLW was brewing in the background. So I was on the advisory panel for AFLW and also on Sandford Commission. So I started to do a little bit of board and governance work as well, which I loved. And then at the end of my Westminster 3-year contract, I saw a job for Collingwood Footy Club as GM of women's sport, which was Super Netball, the underpinning Netball A&L League, as well as AFLW and VFLW. So
Wow.
I thought, I just have to go for this. And after a fairly grueling process, won that position and absolutely loved that for 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And then that's brought you to where you are now.
Yes. So came back and had about 6 months of leave. Obviously through COVID, had to operate out of hubs and, get the teams through. And that was hard yakka. So I had a bunch of leave, took some time off, which was great to reflect, and sort of started looking for a few jobs. Really wanted to come back to Adelaide, passionate Adelaide girl, and saw the position for the Australian Masters Games. And being a former Masters Games participant in 2015 in Adelaide, absolutely loved it and just saw a whole new side of sport from that very quite narrow high performance angle. And went for the interview for that and got that job. And here I am doing an event, which is kind of like high performance, but in a completely more, broad and commercial and government. There's all sorts of stakeholders. So yes, absolutely loving that, but a little bit nervous that the day is looming.
It is looming. There's so many questions that I'd like to ask you with all of your background in there. And I'm sure we'll get to that at one stage, maybe not today. But one of the questions is, you've also been an athlete in your time. Can you tell me about that?
Well, probably loosely athlete. I played with a lot of elite athletes and I was kind of the hard worker that glued it all together a little bit. And, back in the day, we didn't have the national leagues and the super netball that we do now, but certainly played with some of the best netballers in the world at the time. So I was really fortunate to be around at the right time to play with them. And look, I wasn't a natural athlete. I had to work hard and be fitter. And really play my card of being tactically astute, because athleticism wasn't necessarily my forte. I had a good tank, but I played goal shooter, so didn't really need a big tank for that. But I think the discipline of being an athlete and training and the teamwork and all of those ideals that sport gives us has helped me in my management roles today and certainly through my coaching career.
Yeah, so why is sport and why is fitness important to you?
Oh, look, it's really important. Obviously, I chose phys ed as my first major at college because I just love sport from a sporty family, that it was just always what we did in the house, much to mum's disgust, out of the house. Played all day, Saturdays, Sundays, after school. We just couldn't get enough of it. So, I think that those habits were ingrained from an early age, but then knowing through my study, what I learned through why it is important for all sort of stuff like mental health, bone density, just longevity, and all of those reasons that we all know. It's just really important to me, and I'm fortunate that I've been able to keep up those good habits, and they are sort of automatic.
Yeah, see, that's what it is. It's just about building habits. So there's lots of people who are sedentary and don't know how to get started. And events like the Australian Masters Games, people turn off straight away because they go, oh, I can't participate in that because it's the Australian Masters Games. But as I see it and understand, the Australian Masters Games is for everybody.
Yeah, it certainly is. And that's the joy of the Masters. There's a sprinkling of former elite athletes amongst the mix, but it's certainly a mass participation event. And with over 50 different sports, the range of sports now is quite large. So there's definitely one or two sports that anyone would love. So if people are having a sedentary lifestyle at the moment, the Masters Games is just far enough away to set a goal and to be able to do something like a 20-week challenge to build their fitness, build their resilience, and motivate them. Because the games, to me, is the end point. It's that training and that discipline and the opportunity that it gives people to maybe set some small goals or some goals they've always wanted to do lifelong in terms of health, fitness, and sports. Some people are there to chase the medals, and others are there to have a crack. But it's an event for everyone.
And it's there for people to come out and have fun, join a community, bring a community. What type of events are there in Australian Masters Games this year?
We'll have over 50 sports in the end. We've got the traditional sports, the team sports like volleyball, basketball, netball, softball. Dragon boat racing is a big one. That's one of our most popular ones. But we're seeing a lot of diversity in the offerings now, and a lot of demand for that diversity. So we've got yoga sports, which is it's fascinating because it actually is a sport. We've got pickleball, which is really growing on the East Coast, and we've got some international interest in coming to join pickleball.
I'm seeing that more and more now that you've told me about pickleball.
Absolutely. But even looking further afield, we're talking to drones, we're talking to esports, what the community, whatever gets people there and engaged, and then, gives them a goal and something to work towards. It's as much as that social connection and mental health and being part of something big in that social side and the travel aspect, as much as it is about the sport.
So if I was interested in bringing a netball team in, how would I do that?
Yep, well, you'd register your team, go into our website, get the team together, and then get them. You can either register all as a team or individually, and then that goes into the records. And then in time, once the cut-off date happens, Netball SA would then take that, form it into a draw, and then we just keep pumping out the information of when, where, schedules, all that sort of stuff. So it's the booking the team, jumping on the website, travel and accommodation. We've got a partner that manages all that to make it as easy as we can for people to get to the games. And then, just following the socials on all the updates on planning your week, really. So it's the sport and the fixtures, but what that nightly entertainment program and the other fantastic things that will feature throughout the games looks like.
So we don't actually have to be a part of the netball team at the moment. We could just go, right, let's just go into the Masters Games.
100%. And I think that's what most teams do.
Right.
You've got your social teams that enter as a team, but it's just a great opportunity. And we shout out to corporates, we're a shout out to the old intercollegiate traditional teams. And you don't have to be part of that. In fact, if you're not part of a group of people, if you don't form your own team, you can still register for a team sport and go on our bulletin board. And then, we will attempt to find you a team. There's always teams that are looking for an extra couple of players here and there. So where it's team sport, obviously with athletics and the individual sports, you can just go in and enter in those quite easily. But with the team sports, you can still just nominate yourself.
So for me, I haven't played netball for years. I could actually just go and find myself a netball team and go and enter, because I'd love to do that. That's just something I could do. Even though it's the Australian Masters Games, there's no pre-qualification to get in.
Absolutely. And it is a national event, and there is a lot of prestige around the medals that people win at the Australian Masters Games. Having said that, it is an event for everyone. So there's the age groups, obviously, in increments of 5 or 10 year blocks, depending on the popularity of the sport. But there's also, sometimes you have a competitive division or a social division within those age groups, again, depending on the sport and the numbers
So how old do you have to be a master?
Usually,
I'm not a master yet.
You don't look old enough. So usually we go with over 30, but some of those early retirement sports like gymnastics and swimming, it can be 18 and over.
18 and they're a master.
I know, right?
Well, that's fantastic. So to someone that isn't exercising at the moment, contemplating maybe coming out to the Masters Games, what would you say to them? Why would you encourage them to do that?
I'd say pick something that you love. Get on the website and have a look at the 50 different choices and find something that you used to love before you became sedentary, even something from school, no matter how mild it is or how vigorous it is. And then, work backwards and think, okay, we've got just on 5 months. How do we get ourselves into shape for that? How do I make the most of that social and travel piece as well? And then, putting the steps in place. And I think once you register, that's a commitment. And in your brain, that's then, a commitment to train and get organised for it as well.
Because it could be a really nice way to reconnect with people. So I had a really nice netball team at school, which was only like a few years ago. But it'd be nice to get us all back together and maybe do that as a yearly thing, or to participate in the Masters Games. It could be, and I know that people do that, so I've got lots of friends who do it. So there's also the athletic side, which I'm obviously interested in. I really enjoy running, so you've got the athletics as well, and all different events in that too.
Yeah, we have. It's a full suite of athletics offerings. Again, they're all on the website, whether it's the running, the throwing, a combination, and it's really good value with the aths. I think you pay something like $33 for 5 events, and then every event after that is free. So we're encouraging people to do as much as they want to do, and it sort of gets cheaper the more sports you take on.
So there's one sign-up fee, and then you just pay the minimum, $33 for that.
In
sport.
Athletics, yeah.
Okay.
So there's a games fee, which at the moment, so we're in the early bird phase. So if you get in the next couple of months, it's $30 discount. So it'll be $125 for the week, which includes the opening and closing ceremony, an amazing midweek concert with an international act, and what we call sugar hits, which are entertainment shows every night at the Village.
Oh, wow.
So we're really excited about the Village. So $125 covers your whole week, entry to all of those things. And we've also got like yoga on the riverbank and all sorts of other things that people can do. And it's $110 for 70s and over. So seniors discount for 70s and over. And then, so that's the games fee. And the second component of the fee is the sport fee.
Right.
Now we've got sports like darts that cost very minimal because it's, a short event and really easy to set up. And then we've got other team sports where you're playing in a tournament that's pretty much the Saturday to Saturday, 7th to the 14th of October. Obviously a lot more coordination and a lot more time doing the sport, and they're more expensive. So depending on what you want to do, everyone pays the same games fee, and then it's whatever sport you want to choose.
And so, and the events, they sound very exciting. So you've got events every night at Sky City. And where will they be held? At Sky City itself, or along the Torrens, or how's that all happening?
Yeah, we're super excited to have our venue reveal a few weeks back. So Sky City Village is the place to be. So that'll be, it's like a Com Games village, and it'll be enclosed. Sky City Entertainment Complex will be in the actual village, and there'll be the opening and closing ceremonies there. So the Festival Plaza is where it is. And the opening ceremony will start across the bridge. There'll be a bridge march. There'll be drones and photos and ceremony, riverbank, welcome to country. So it'll be a really incredible and moving opening ceremony experience. But the action takes place every night in the village. So whether that's the big ceremonies, we have the midweek concert at the Drive, which is really exciting. And then, every other night we'll be at the village just in front of Sky City there.
And I hear there's a great movie being played.
Yes, well, there's a couple of really good features outside the village. The first one is, I didn't mention, is a street party at Glenelg, which is amazing. So that'll get everyone sort of out of the city and down the bay, Moseley Square. More details to come about that on the Thursday night. But yes, one of the features that we're going to have is the screening of I'm Not a Runner at Sky City at the District. So we're just working to see how that all comes together. So, really encourage people to get along. You can get a counter meal, a drink, and watch that amazing doco.
So, that takes me to the doco, because 5 of those women in the movie had never run before, and then they ran the New York Marathon. So they were really worried. They didn't know if they could do it, much like some of the people who might be watching this. Like, I could never enter the Australian Masters Games would be a thought of many people. You and I have been playing sport for a long time, and it's easy. You can sort of think, like even for me, it's a bit of a deep breath. Could I actually participate? So there's lots of people out there who are sitting there going, oh, that's just not for me. It actually is, and it's a great, healthy place to be motivated by others, to be part of sporting teams, to be next to elite athletes, because that's the beautiful thing of sport, is that everyone's together and everyone's just encouraging each other. So I think it's a wonderful thing that you're doing, and I really know that you're trying to get that message out there to everybody, that it's about fun. Yes, there's medals, and yes, that will be celebrated, but so will everybody. Is that right?
Yeah, 100%. That's so well put, Anna. It's, I say it's like eating an elephant one bite at a time. So, it's get moving, register, put that end goal in mind, and it's just little bits. There is a long time to train and get ready for the games, and that's, you don't have to train like an elite athlete. You just want to prepare yourself so that you don't get injured, or you're preventing injury, and also that you'll enjoy the games more because you'll be able to play for longer if a team sport or something with a longer span is what people choose. But yeah, it's that mentality of just small steps, start really, really small and just build every day. And as we know, like your amazing women who did the New York Marathon. But the games is perhaps something that along the same line, but more achievable.
Yeah, and I guess that's why we've created the 20-week Masters Games fitness and health program, which I'm really excited about, because usually, these programs are very expensive, but we've created this program together, and I'm running this program, which is a 20-week health and fitness program, which isn't just about exercise. It's about all the different health aspects of your life. And we're doing weekly challenges for people. So people can access this program who have registered for the Australian Masters Games. And this will help them to get their confidence to get to the starting line of the Australian Masters Games. They can implement these slowly with us throughout. So it will create a community for people who are feeling maybe on the outer end, and they'll become a community together and encourage and support each other through. What do you think of the program, Jane?
I'm so excited about the program. It's reading through the content. I was like, yes, 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 tick, tick, tick. And what a wonderful offering for our Masters Games registrants to have that opportunity. As you said, sometimes it can be expensive to get into such a program with a personal touch and such quality content. And it's not just about the fitness stuff. It's that holistic approach, which we want to really be the narrative of the Masters Games. It's not just about the sports side. It's about health. It's about that social stuff. So the 20-week program encapsulates that, and there are so many features that people are going to be surprised and delighted by. And for $20, like, you just cannot buy value like that is genuine, authentic health and fitness quality. So it's an innovative thing for the Games. The Games has never had that offering, and to have someone like you deliver that, we're just so grateful, and we can't wait. People are going to go crazy for it.
Yeah, and I'm really passionate, as you are, just about getting people healthy and moving and making this accessible, just like you're making the Australian Masters Games accessible. So I'm really excited to bring that to everybody as well. So hoping that everybody that registers with the Australian Masters Games also registers for the 20-week health and fitness program, no matter what fitness level they're at. Everyone will learn something. It's about creating healthy habits and putting all these together so that everyone feels fantastic when they get there. And you'll learn some things, and there'll be things that you'll know that people will already know, but it's to remind people to put these together. And when you put everything together, this is how you can feel fantastic. Thank you for your time and being here. Is there anything else that you'd like to say?
Look, I'm just so much looking forward to it. We've had record-breaking numbers in our gold entry phase, and we're looking to do the same in our early birds. So, look, I encourage everybody just to get in quick and make the most of the 20-week program. So mid-July is when that'll kick off. So if you want to get the
mid-May.
Sorry, mid-May.
Don't jump us to July.
No,
it's not July already.
Mid-May.
Mid-May.
So yeah, once people register, don't waste any time. Sign up for that and make the absolute most. So encourage people to take every opportunity that is part of the Masters, and I plan a great week, have your tourist stuff as well as your social events planned, and get registering.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic that you're involving everyone. You've reached out to me as well. I'm not an elite sports person. That everybody is actually welcome and embraced in this. So thank you, Jane. Thanking you for making this successful, and I really hope that, and I know that this will be a really successful event. So well done.
Thanks, Anna.
Thanks for watching. If you want more, go to annaliptak.com.